Welcome back to Orange Hat Reviews, folks. This is actually the third attempt at making this video because the absolute racism that is allowed to be expressed in the United Kingdom is truly astonishing. Disney's Mulan accused of being too white behind the camera. There's a editor-in-chief at a media site or media place, I guess, called Off Color, and their editor-in-chief, who's named Keshav Kant, is blatantly and brutally racist. I mean, this is like 1800s racism. At white people. And I've tried recording this video twice already, and I've been seriously knocked off balance by the amount of racism in this article. I just took a while to calm myself down, because this is disturbing that this was even allowed to print. Anyway, Keshav, who was chief editor of Off Color, wrote an article in Metro UK titled, "I've loved Mulan since childhood, but the remake is too white behind the camera." Yeah. In the article, he takes issue with the crew of the film. Finally, it premiered on 10 March, but as the cast of Asian excellence line up on the red carpet for photos and interviews, they were followed by the crew, majority of whom were, unsurprisingly, very white. He adds, "As a person of color, this is incredibly disturbing to see." That is absolute racism, folks. You are disparaging because you are seeing white people in front of you. That is absolute racism. We were promised that this remake would be a departure from the animated movie's Orientalist roots, and a more accurate to origin retelling of the Chinese legend and folk song, The Ballad of Mulan, which the movie is based on. But seeing a whole host of white people parade onto that carpet and enjoying their time in the spotlight made it feel hollow. He continued with his racist remarks. "It was a visual slap in the face, an undeniable message from Disney that Asian people telling this story on screen are mere puppets on strings with no real control over how their own stories are told." Wow, dude. Wow. Kant takes issue with the removal of Li Shang from the film, blames it on white people. I am disgusted by how a beautiful love story that focused on the woman taking control and allowed her to lead the relationship development is discarded as a flippant justification for creative decisions made by white people who clearly don't understand the story's nuance. At this point, I've given up. This is no longer my favorite Disney story. It is a white person's chance to flex their creative muscles and cash a Disney check. In order to correct this perceived problem, Kant demands that white people not be allowed in leadership roles in creative control and authority. He writes, "Not everyone on the crew needs to be of a specific race and ethnicity that pairs with the story told, but those who are in leadership roles and have creative control and authorities should be." Yeah, folks. He continues, "The directors and screenwriters, for example, as well as the costume designer, who specializes in historically accurate clothing, and composers who are familiar with the culture's musical history and traditions." He concludes by demanding that Disney hire sensitivity readers. It doesn't hurt to go the extra step. For instance, hiring an on-set historian, sensitivity readers to review the script, and screening rough edits to knowledgeable critics before confirming the completion of the film. Oh my god, man, this is... So, you want historical accuracy. You're never going to get 100% historical accuracy, Mr. Keshev. Can't. And your blatant racism, if you had written something like that in the United States, back when the United States was more tolerant and actually not going nuts and allowing racism to perpetuate from a lot of left-wing sources and shit in media, this would never have been allowed to have gone to print. And your ass would have been fired from editor-in-chief. Why are people doing the whole cancel culture when it comes to racism against white folks? This is absolute bullshit, folks. People who are white are now getting attacked by a lot of racism. And, of course, you're going to hear SJW say, well, you can't be racist towards white people because white people were racist for thousands of years. Newsflash, assholes. Racism is not white versus any other race. Racism is intolerance towards any race by another race. Doesn't matter if the intolerance comes from black, white, yellow, brown, green, blue, purple, or otherwise. Racism is absolute intolerance based on another person's skin color. And this person, Keshev Kant, has just expressed it very disgustingly. Anyway, folks, that is the video. You all know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that jazz. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Why is this sort of racism allowed to be printed in an article? Not from Bounding into Comics, where this article comes from. They are reporting on the racism. But the actual racism in Metro UK. Why did you guys allow such racism to be allowed in your article? You have lost a lot of integrity by allowing that. I'm not asking that Metro UK be canceled, but I am asking that they exercise a little bit more common sense. Anyway, folks, that is the video. Y'all know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that jazz. I think I already said that. I'm just very pissed off right now. Let me know all your thoughts down in the comments below. Do you think that this article should have been allowed to have been written and expressed? Let me know all your thoughts down in the comments below. This has been Orange Hat Reviews. Catch y'all on the next one.